Jamie Campbell, another series. This is the final series of this 10-game homestand, and the Blue Jays need to turn things around. They are just 2-5 here at home. Buck Showalter, fresh off of a 4-game series in Boston, where they split the 4 games with the Red Sox. Take a look at the lineup for Buck Showalter's Orioles. Top of the order is Everett Cabrera, Pierce, Davis, and then Adam Jones. And you look at his numbers against the Blue Jays. That's the way he's hit against the Jays his entire career. He has a home run against Mark Buehrle as well. Delman Young, he's got huge numbers against Buehrle. He has hit almost 400 against the Blue Jays lefty. And here's the first pitch of the game. It is off the plate outside, and we are underway.
Two tough hitters right there for Mark Buehrle as he takes his 2-0 record to the mound for his 3rd start of the season.
Everett Cabrera pulls it to Reyes, and sure enough, he's tested right away. No problem at all. 6-3 on the putout. Take a look at the rest of the defense in the outfield. Pilar, Pompey, and Bautista. Up the middle, it's Reyes and Goins. Goins making his first start at second this season. Donaldson and Encarnacion on the corners, and Russell Martin catching Buehrle for the first time this year.
That ball will find you, won't it, when you're playing at shortstop? As Jose Reyes gets his first start in about 4 days. 3 days off against Atlanta, and then the off day. First one right to you. Get that one out of the way.
Reyes ran a lot here on Sunday afternoon prior to that final game against the Braves. Said he feels great. Everything but swinging the bat from the left side. That's where he really feels that rib cage injury. This is Steve Pearce. Bit of a slow start for Pearce. A couple of home runs and 3 driven in. Buehrle gets inside on him.
That's a big pitch, I think, for Mark Buehrle. There are 6 right-handed batters in the lineup for the Baltimore Orioles tonight, and he's got to keep them honest by buzzing that cutter in on their hands like that. It'll open up the outside.
Russell Martin receives that pitch very well and gets the strikeout of Pierce. Martin, one of the best in the game at receiving that baseball, and he gave Buehrle that strike 3.
Boy, he's got such soft hands. Watch him just go get this one and pull it back. Showing the home plate umpire the late call. Steve Pearce wasn't happy about it, but you know Martin and Buehrle were really happy about that call.
This is Chris Davis. The Orioles scored in the first inning of each of the 3 games these 2 teams played at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Really pumped that fastball right in on his hands. Ball and a strike. Ground ball, that's a fair ball. Encarnacion will go to the bag. How about Mark Buehrle? Good start for Buehrle. 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout. Jays are set to bat here in the bottom of the first. John Gibbons talking to the crew chief, Brian Gorman, as he had something to discuss with the umpire. Take a look at the lineup, and it's good to see Reyes back at the top of the order. He has missed 3 games. He started on Thursday, came out after 1 at bat. Donaldson's had a good homestand, 11 for 29 in his homestand, with his first 3 Blue Jay home runs of his career. Jose Bautista this season off to a good start against Baltimore. He has 4 hits in 10 at-bats, and one of those a home run.
That is a lineup that Bud Norris will face tonight, and the Blue Jays know all about Bud Norris. They roughed him up in their first meeting, knocked him out in the 4th inning, and gave up 8 earned runs to the Blue Jays. He was better his next start versus the Yankees, still gave up 3 runs and 5 hits in just 5 innings of work. Buck Showalter, the manager of the Orioles, would like to see him go a little bit deeper into the ball game tonight. This is his 8th career start versus the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays beat him the last time they saw him for his first loss against Toronto. Reyes batting right-handed. You'll notice that the switch hitter is batting right-handed. He's a natural right-handed hitter and didn't start switch hitting until he signed professionally with the Mets. I asked Reyes before the game if he had hit right-handed against righty pitching. He said, yes, a couple years ago when I was with the Mets, I had a strained oblique and almost a similar injury now.
Same type of thing. So he can put together a game plan against Bud Norris. We watched him. You and I both watched him in batting practice today. He looked fine from the right side. He was just raking, and he would come out and you would ask him, how's he doing? He says, I'm feeling fine, feeling really good.
Norris ahead 1-2. Bouncing ball. Pierce, the first baseman, flips to Norris, and Reyes is retired. The Orioles were out here about 2 o'clock today to get used to this new field. Defensively, they were really making note of how slow it was. In the outfield, it's Delman Young, Adam Jones, and former Blue Jay Travis Snyder. On the infield, Gold Glover Manny Machado at third base. Everett Cabrera has played very well for Baltimore. Ryan Flaherty starting at second base. Derek Pierce is at first, and Caleb Joseph continues to do the most of the catching with the absence of Matt Wieters.
Orioles got some bad news while they were in Boston. Jonathan Scope's going to be gone for about 2 months with a knee injury, so Ryan Flaherty will get the bulk of the work at second base. They too have lost their middle infield. J.J. Hardy on the disabled list with a shoulder problem. Now Scope on the disabled list with a knee problem. Ryan Flaherty becomes a very valuable player.
This is Josh Donaldson. High, deep drive. Delman Young circles back right in front of the scoreboard. He'll make the catch, and as Donaldson just missed another homer.
Bud Norris got away with one right there. Let's take a look at the scatter report for the right-hander for the Baltimore Orioles. Fastball throws about 60% of the time. Slider, changeup, and cutter. Likes to work the right-handers away, keep the ball away from him, make them reach for it. He's also had problems finishing off hitters. He's got one of the worst batting averages against when he is ahead in the count, so he's got to finish off the batters.
Jose Bautista takes a first pitch fastball for a strike. Norris has got a good fastball, and he's not afraid to use it.
He'll pump that ball away against the right-handers. He'll cut it away from the right-handed batters, and he'll show one inside to keep you honest. But if you watch that game that he pitched against the Blue Jays, everything that the Blue Jays swung at found a hole. And that's how you give up 8 earned runs in 3 innings.
Gave up 4 runs in the first, capped off by a Deontay Navarro 2-run double. Bautista just 6 for 42, but he's done some damage. 3 homers and 8 RBIs. He's also getting on base. He has 11 walks. Bautista called out. Mark Carlson rings him up, so each pitcher records a strikeout in the first. Hit third the last time the Blue Jays played with Burley on the mound against the Orioles, and he had a home run in that first inning. But they drop him down in the cleanout spot, but he is swinging a red-hot bat to start the season.
Look at all the ranks in the American League. He's second in average, first in hits, tied for second in home runs, and he's got 16 RBIs, which is tied for first also in the American League. And he's just a smarter hitter now, and I think he's a little bit more aggressive. He was telling you and I before the ball game right now, his game plan is, hey, you throw a fastball, I'm going to be ready for it.
Working with a new hitting coach, Scott Coolbaugh. Burley starts him out with a fastball, but it's down at the knees on the corner.
Yeah, he also said if they hang him a breaking ball, don't miss it. And he hasn't missed it. That's Cooley right there. Scott Coolbaugh, the new hitting coach for the Baltimore Orioles.
Burley left one upstairs, and Jones fouls it back. Mark had a good start to his game, 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout in the first. Mark Burley, the last 2 seasons, he has gone 6-1 in the month of April. Jones lines it into center, and Pompey is going to play it on a hop. Adam Jones is red hot.
Tough to get him out. Let's take a look at the scouting report for Mark Burley. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Fastball 50% of the time. Changeup, cutter, and the curveball. And I think the curveball is going to be a very important pitch for him. He's going to have to throw that a lot just to get the hitters thinking about it. Then you can use your fastball. You can see it's only 83 miles per hour. And the changeup to the right-handers, he likes to keep that away. But again, I think the curveball is important for him.
Delman Young, big numbers against Mark Burley. Delman Young is 21 for 53 against Burley with 4 home runs. That's a .396 average. Last time that Young faced Burley, Mark handcuffed him, pitched him tough. Ball on his strike. Change up in the dirt.
Didn't he get a big double play off the bat of Delman Young in that game? Looked like they were coming back and maybe making a turn to try and get back in the ball game.
After a 1-out double and a single, Delman Young hit into an inning-ending double play in the 3rd inning, and he finished up that ball game just 1 for 4. There's a line drive to right. Bautista has it measured and makes the catch. Mark Burley loves to work quickly, and he was outstanding on the mound. They were having the grounds crew meeting, and Buck Showalter standing right on home plate as if to say, I'm not letting Mark Burley get comfortable here. But they always have this meeting, first game of a series, when they go into a ball club and they talk about the grounds crew. DeMarlo Hales explaining all of the nuances to the umpiring crew and Buck Showalter. They said, okay, now, Mark, you can pitch.
Okay, and Russell, now you can get behind the plate and get yourself ready. Mark, everything he does it quickly. He's got a purpose and a plan. Buck was out there. He wanted to get everything down the first day in here this year.
This is Travis Snyder, and he lines it down the left side. That's a foul ball. May have broken his bat. Didn't sound good coming off the bat, but he's not asking for a new piece of lumber. Snyder playing in his first game here at Rogers Center since July 29th, 2012. Detroit beat the Blue Jays 4-1. Then the Blue Jays went out to Seattle. 2 days later, he was traded to Pittsburgh.
Remember, he had everybody over and enjoying his hometown, and he was gone over to Pittsburgh. But happy to be back in the American League and very happy playing for Buck Showalter.
2 balls and a strike. Pulled foul outside of first. Snyder, of course, a former #1 pick of the Blue Jays. Blue Jays made 2 trades at trade deadline. They traded for Steve Delabar right there in Seattle. He came from the Mariners clubhouse over to the Blue Jays clubhouse for Eric Thames. And Snyder was traded to Pittsburgh for Brad Lincoln, right-hand reliever.
A couple of hitters for a couple of pitchers. Travis got up here quick, didn't he? He was here when he was 20 years old in the big leagues, and it was a long time before he got his game getting comfortable at the big leagues.
Burley with another strikeout.
The championship-winning Honda CRF 450R for those who dare to ride red.
Manny Machado, according to Mike Demiro down at first, didn't go around on that first pitch. Machado drops down into the 7th spot in the order. He has not hit well against Mark Burley, just 3 for 14. He has spent most of his games hitting 6, so he just drops down 1 spot in the lineup.
And the Orioles are trying to get this bat started. You can see the average is 156, 1 home run. Pretty good at bat so far. 3 borderline pitches, and he's taken all 3 of them.
3-0. He might be swinging, just trying to get him going a little bit. And he is. Hits it to third. Donaldson goes to second for the force out. Leadoff single doesn't hurt. Mark Burley, 2 shutout innings now. Edwin Encarnacion trying to get something going with the bat. Off to a little bit of a slow start, but he's always a threat.
Jays on Sports. Presented by the 2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Good day for a roof here in Toronto, as it was storming earlier this evening. Actually had some hail outside. Got the roof indoors. Perfect. Edwin Encarnacion just 3 for 26 on his homestand, looking to get something going with the bat. Blue Jays wrapping up their first homestand of the season, and it has not gone particularly well. They're 2-5 so far in this homestand. That's that hard cutter that missed down and away. Edwin, 3 for 11 against Norris. He drives this deep to center field. Jones on the run. He looks up. Goodbye, home run. That'll get him going.
You know, whenever he stays in the middle of the field, he can drive the ball out at any part of the ballpark. I think the defense by the Orioles really reflected that. They had 3 infielders on the left side of the infield, and the outfielders were really bunching him in the middle of the diamond. So Edwin takes advantage of that and drives that ball out of here right over the center field wall. Boy, he loaded up on that one, stayed back, and just hammered that thing to center.
Well, you made a great point about using the whole field. When you can hit the ball out to center field, you know you don't have to open up quickly to pull it. And to give you a better idea about those pitches, this is Deanna Navarro. Danny Valencia admiring that long home run.
Four-seamer, four-seam fastball. They wanted to try and get Edwin to reach for that ball. And watch it one more time over the middle of the plate. He doesn't have to reach for it. He gets everything behind it. That's a hanger, and he takes it out of center field.
Edwin had 2 home runs last April. He has 3 now. There's that four-seamer again, riding up and away from Navarro. We mentioned Navarro. Deanna had a 2-run double against Norris in the first inning, capping off the Blue Jays' 4-run first inning, the last time Norris started against him. Popped up, and that'll reach the seats out of play.
And again, in that day, that afternoon that the Blue Jays faced Norris, everything they swung at was finding the hole. Navarro's double was sliced down the left field line for a couple of runs. There were a couple of other balls that fell right in front of the outfielders. Norris is a good pitcher. That day, things were just not working for him.
He committed an error in that first inning as well on an attempted pickoff. Bautista at first threw it away down the right field line. That compounded the situation. He came back and had a 1-2-3 second inning, but Blue Jays knocked him out in the 4th. Full count. Russell Martin will be next. Blue Jays have versatility in this lineup. They can bat guys in a lot of different spots in the order.
Yeah, with all the switch hitters that they can throw out there.
Hit hard to right. Snyder's back and reaches, and it's off his glove. Navarro is headed for second. Snyder still can't pick it up. Now Navarro takes off for third. Here's the relay throw, the slide. He's safe. Travis Snyder played it off the wall. We went to pick it up and couldn't find the handle. Navarro was watching the whole play develop, made the turn and headed into third.
Play was right in front of him. 3-2 pitch, and the ball turned on by Navarro. Travis Snyder had a chance at actually catching the ball. Goes back and reaches up and has a shot. Now it goes off of his glove, and this is where he makes a mistake. One miss. Now he goes back to try and get it one more time. And you see the ball off of his glove. Misses it, picks it up. The ball comes in, and the relay looks like they have time, but the ball bounced twice off this turf. And it was really slow getting to Machado at third base.
Mark Showalter talking to Mark Carlson, who made the call at third on the rotation. And Carlson is there, perfect position. Home plate umpire rotates down to third, and looked like he was safe.
Yeah, got that leg in there. Norris says he's out, and then realizes he's called safe. And now he's got to go to work.
It's a double for Navarro, and Snyder will make an error, and that's something the Orioles have really had problems with so far. They committed 3 errors in the game yesterday that led to 5 unearned runs.
That is 8 errors now this season for the Orioles. Here's the slide one more time. Machado reaches for it. He leaves the base wide open for Navarro. That left leg kicked up instead of going right into the bag, and that back leg was the leg that actually touched the bag first.
Defense has always been top of the mind for Buck Showalter, and they've missed some Gold Glovers. There are 3 Gold Glovers out of the lineup. 2 on the disabled list, 1 in Atlanta, Nick Markakis, and he was the right fielder. Matt Wieters, the catcher, he's on the DL. Their Gold Glove shortstop J.J. Hardy's on the DL. They don't have the same defenders. Last year, to give you an idea how good their defense was, they allowed just 36 unearned runs all season. So far this year, they've already allowed 6. This is their 14th game.
They just don't beat themselves. At least they didn't last year. They pitched it and they catch it. They make the right plays. The right play right now, right here, is make the ball go through if you're Deanna Navarro. The infield's about halfway. There's nobody out. As a runner at third base, make that ball go through.
Russell Martin has been very productive in these situations. Runners in the scoring position. He's 3 for 10, but for the season he has 8 RBIs. Despite that 143 average. So he is producing.
He sees a lot of pitches. He's one of the best in the American League at seeing pitches per plate appearance. So he's got a lot of information when he gets to the back end of his at-bats. You can see 3-1. He took that fastball right down the middle just to make Norris work one more time.
Coming in, and they miss. So Martin will take a walk. Yanni Navarro had a double against Bud Norris in Baltimore. And here he hits one hard over the glove of Snyder in right.
Yeah, pulls that ball. Now watch the plays right in front of him. He comes around first base, takes one more look. He doesn't need a third base coach. Plays right in front of you. You know yourself. As a baseball player, you got to know yourself, know your defense. He felt like he could make it, and he did.
Well, it was a good gamble because he had a shot, and then once you get to third base, you're at third base with nobody out. Chances of your scoring are pretty high. This is Dalton Pompey. Encarnacion homered. Navarro doubled, and now Russell Martin has walked. Bud Norris was 4-0 before the Blue Jays beat him in the first start of the season. Norris was the opening night pitcher for the Orioles when they opened up their home schedule.
He's had some good games pitched against the Blue Jays. But they took care of it early. Right now he is just picking. He's trying to find a way to get out of this minimum damage. And if you're the Blue Jays, just be patient. Dalton Pompey is a low ball hitter right now. Zero in on one spot. One pitch in one spot. Fastball down and see how far you can hit it.
2-0. Got a good pitch to hit out over the plate. The outfield's playing pretty shallow for Pompey. And remember, they're playing their first game on this surface. But I think they have come in because they have recognized already the balls on the ground aren't going to split the outfielders the way they used to. Buck Showalter was really studying this field prior to the game. First for its playability, and then he was very conscious of the safety of the field. He checked a lot of seams and went around the sliding pits, and
he doesn't miss too much.
They had an incident in batting practice in which Jimmy Paredes was hit by a batted ball when he was standing down at third fielding grounders, and it took a wicked hop off this turf.
Yeah, the whole team was out here this afternoon working on this field defensively. They couldn't hit, but they could field just to get a feel for what the ball does on the ground.
But Norris just keeping that ball away.
This is what you were just alluding to right here. The seams, there's some seams behind first base and right behind third base. And Buck Showalter doesn't miss anything. He was out there examining it, trying to mat it down with his shoes. Paredes was the one who got the ball off the seam and hit him
right
in the face.
In that area.
Mm-hmm.
Buck was trying to stomp down. Ball is upstairs. It's a full count. Runners at the corners. Navarro doubled and reached on the air by Snyder in right. Russell Martin walked. He's at first. A run in on the Encarnacion leadoff home run here in the second. Kevin Pillar will be next. Ball four. Bases are loaded. Boy, oh boy, Blue Jays have Norris on the ropes again.
He could not make it out of the 4th inning in his last start. They were patient with him. They made him come over. When they did, they hit the ball. They need some length out of him. They need some innings out of their starter. He went 3+ innings in his first start and just 5 against the Yankees in his next start. And in the first inning, he was quick. 1, 2, 3. Down in the strike zone. The home run really shook him up.
So the bases are loaded for Kevin Pillar. For his career, he's 1 for 4 with the bases loaded. He's not hit a grand slam. Has had a couple of RBIs. He's in a bit of a funk. He's 1 for his last 15 over 4 games.
You know, and the pressure right now is on that pitcher. If you're Kevin Pillar, you're looking for one pitch, a fastball right down the middle. You can't be afraid to swing at it like you're going to make an out. Try and do some damage.
Upstairs, trying to get that breaking ball over. And you see Norris looking at his pitching hand. Not that ball slipped or if he's starting to deal with a blister. Clark really needs to keyhole here, get him one that he can drive.
Yeah, think about the middle of the field. Same approach that we saw from Encarnacion when he homered to lead off this inning.
That backup breaking ball, it moved all the way to the inside corner, meant to be away.
That's okay. If that's not the pitch you're looking for early in the count, even though it was right there, take it. He was looking for a fastball.
That's that little cutter. It starts on the corner and broke away, and Pillar chased it. Now he's got a battle. 1-2, nobody out. Blue Jays looking for a big inning early here against the Orioles. Blue Jays won the series in Baltimore. They beat Bud Norris 12-5 in the opener of that series, and Pillar chases a bad one off the plate. He strikes out.
He just would not come inside. And that's why you think about the middle of the field right here, because it's going to be slider away, slider away. You see the front shoulder is already left. The front hip has opened up. If you're thinking middle of the field, you're going to just see the ball a little bit better, number one, and number two, poke that ball back through the middle. That's a big out for Bud Norris.
It sets up the double play that might get him out of the inning. Ryan Goins, the number 9 hitter. Norris has battled his control. He's pitched from behind. 5 of 9 first pitch strikes, first time through the order. That's a good take, borderline pitch, and Goins laid off.
You can see he's trying to cover the outside part of the plate, just the way he's taking those pitches.
Ryan's never had a hit with the bases loaded. He's 0 for 5. Nothing like a perfect time for your first one.
What a perfect time right here.
There it is. Navarro's in this score. Here comes Martin. The throw from Snyder is not in time. And the ball gets away from the catcher. And Ryan Goins delivers a 2-run single. First hit with the bases loaded in his career. Navarro and Martin score a 3-run inning.
Hey, Buck, once again, the slow turf is a benefit to the Blue Jays. That took a long time for that ball to get to the outfield. Louis Rivera, the third base coach of the Blue Jays, recognizes that. So he sends Russell Martin from second base. Watch this ball sneak through on the right side and how long it takes to get into the outfield. And by that time, it's too late. And that's not a Baltimore Oriole type of play right there. He overthrows the cutoff man. The runners move up, and the double play is out of order now because Goins is standing on second.
And the infield has to come in. Goins reaches second on the air by Snyder, his second error of the game. That's 5 errors for the Orioles in the last 2 games.
I was watching their game yesterday from Boston, and they were kicking it around, throwing it around.
On the ground as Pompey breaks for home, and he's safe. Mark Carlson calls him safe as Pompey snuck a hand across the plate. Good to see a smile on that young man's face. He had a tough day on Sunday.
A walk and a run scorer right now. That'll leave some of the pressure right there. Buck Showalter's going to come out and take a look at this one. The Blue Jays have the contact play on. You've got some speed at third base. Let's see if you can steal a run. Mark Carlson says he's in. Let's see if he makes the tag. Puts his glove down. And it looks like he tagged him on the leg, but maybe Dalton got that hand in there.
He missed the hand, but by the time he tags him on the leg, the hand appeared to be across home plate. Boy, oh boy, you can't ask for an umpire to be in a better position. Carlson keeps moving to make sure he doesn't get blocked out, and his head is right on top of the plate. John Russell, the bench coach, and they're going to review this one. So Mark Carlson, the home plate umpire, made the call. He called down the crew chief, Brian Gorman, and he'll go to the headset and ask for the review. Big review for the Orioles. Obviously, it would save them a run if they can have this overturned.
Save them a run and get an out. Also, they're looking for some outs right now just to try and stop this rally by the Blue Jays. That is a tough call right there, I think, for the umpire. Bang, bang. Does he touch him? Mark Carlson, like you said, Buck, was right on top of it.
Here's where this no collision rule really hurts the catcher. If there is the ability of the catcher to block home plate, he just stands in front of home plate, and there's no question that he could block Pompey off the base. And I just think it's not a good rule for baseball. I think you have to give the catcher the ability to block home plate. And if you do that, then this play wouldn't even be in question. He would have stepped over to his left one more step and blocked home plate, and Pompey certainly wouldn't have been sliding head first very often.
Let me ask you a question here. What's to stop the catcher, Caleb Joseph, that last shot that we just had of catching the ball and just dropping his knee right in front of home plate?
You can do that because he's already given him a lane to slide.
He's given him a lane, and he's caught the ball now. But he didn't go down with his knee and block home plate.
He just tried to swipe tag him, and a lot of teams are teaching that, and the Orioles are one of those teams, and they have taught their catchers to swipe tag. Just to try to make sure you don't get penalized for blocking home plate. Now, see, he swipe tags just like a infielder would on a base.
Right, and that still leaves an opening for Pompey to try and get that hand in there.
Play on the field stands. Brian Gorman, the crew chief, waves the safe sign. It's a 4-run inning for the Blue Jays. Pompey, with his hustle on the contact play, gets Reyes an RBI. Stretches out the inning and keeps Bud Norris on the ropes.
Boy, and now he's got to face Donaldson and Bautista with just one out and runners on the corner.
Four runs in, still just one out. Reyes, he can run over at first as well. There he goes. Caleb Joseph's throw is in the dirt, into center. Goins is going to come in to score. Jones will walk the ball back to the infield, and the Blue Jays have scored a 5th run this inning. And that's going to be another error. How about 3 errors in the inning?
Very uncharacteristic of the Baltimore Orioles. Caleb Joseph hasn't thrown out a base runner yet this season. So you got to test him. You got to push the buttons and make him try and force you to get him out. Reyes takes off on the first move, and this one is sailing right into the base runner. That'll allow Goins to trot home, and Reyes over at third base. 5-0.
The official score has changed his ruling. This ball is driven to right, deep. Snyder back. Get out of here, off the wall. Reyes jogs in as Donaldson made a bid for another home run. It scraped the wall, comes straight down onto the warning track, and Reyes scores.
Donaldson's got some power the other way. You saw a home run there the other day. Just trying to get that ball up in the air to get that runner in. I kept carrying it. Stayed in the ballpark. I thought Snyder had a chance of catching this ball. He goes back. He thinks it's going to be up over the wall. Tries the circuit catch, and look where it ends up. That's a catchable ball.
He stays on his feet. He can catch it about shoulder high. It's not been a good inning for the Orioles. A great one for the Blue Jays. 6 runs. Bautista, the 9th man to bat this inning. Two and 0. Left-hander Brian Mattis starts to loosen up for the Orioles. Orioles bullpen has been taxed lately. Ubaldo Jimenez got thrown out of the game early in Boston. They had to patch that up with a lot of relievers.
It helped a little bit yesterday playing just 7 innings in Boston.
It was a rain-shortened game in Boston.
Rain-shortened game, and they only needed 1 reliever, so the bullpen is at full strength.
Bautista now with a 2-2 count. Wayne Kirby, the first base coach and outfield coach, getting a visit from Buck Showalter. Bautista hammers it to left. Delman Young makes the catch. Donaldson hustles back to second.
All of these extra outs that the Orioles have given the Blue Jays, and for Bud Norris, it just compounds the problem. 4 pitches.
Norris has thrown 47 pitches in an inning and 2/3. The scoring change we mentioned when Donaldson hit that ball, they took the air away from Snyder on the Goins single. They ruled that Goins advanced to second on the throw. No air for Snyder. Ryan Goins picking up his first base hit with the bases loaded, so there have been 2 errors in this inning, not 3. Popped up, Encarnacion pops it up. Caleb Joseph makes the catch, and the Blue Jays put up a 6th spot. They send 10 men to the plate. It all started with Edwin Encarnacion leading off the inning. He goes deep to center. That set up a 6-run inning. Home run number 3 for Double E.
Fans, Greg Zahn did such a great job when he took over Twitter last week. We're having him do it again. The 5th inning tonight, he will answer your questions. Join the Blue Jays conversation during the game. Tweet your questions to @Sportsnet using the hashtag JaysTalk. Greg Zahn, 5th inning, taking your questions on Twitter. Buck?
Thank you, Barry. 6-run inning, biggest inning of the season for the Blue Jays as they have taken a 6-0 lead for Mark Buehrle. How about Buehrle? He's a run magnet. Getting all kinds of runs for him. This is Caleb Joseph. He's gotten off to a good start with the bat.
Guy's fighting to get in the lineup when Mark Buehrle pitches for the Jays. I know I'm good for 2 or 3 hits tonight.
Buehrle won his 200th career game against the Orioles, opening up that series in Baltimore. By his own admission, he said, you know, I wasn't very good, but the guys scored me a lot of runs and picked up his career 200th win. Caleb Joseph, we mentioned, he's swinging a hot bat. He leads things off here in the 3rd with a single to center. Well, Mark Buehrle, take a look at the run support that Buehrle has got over the course of this season. 16.5 runs while he's on the mound. That's an average. You see the leaders around baseball. Drew Hutchison has had 7 runs and 8 runs scored for him, and he's not been able to get out of the innings. He hasn't completed 5 innings in both of those games.
So they're averaging 16 runs per 9 innings. I think I can do that.
You could do that?
I can handle that. Get me in the line. That's why I think Mark's number has been so good in April the last couple of years.
6-1.
He'll give up his share of hits, especially with leads like this. He hates walking people. And when you have a lead like this, you got to make that opposition hit their way on.
This is Ryan Flaherty. He pops it up. Donaldson is on the run. He's giving it a chase, and it's going to land top of the rail into the seats. Josh Donaldson is what players call a gamer. He loves to play. Of course, he likes to hit RBI doubles, but man, he likes to play defense too.
And he's the same guy every day, right? Around the cage. You know, he likes to have fun, and he plays hard. Just win, play hard, run hard down the baseline.
Buehrle really hasn't had great command. He has thrown just 2 first pitch strikes first time through the order. There's a fly ball into center. Nelton Pompey on the run. It's past him, goes all the way to the wall. Caleb Joseph is being waved home. Goins with the relay throw to home plate, and it's late as the Orioles have gotten on the board. Ryan Flaherty with an RBI double.
Bottom of the order, getting it started for the Baltimore Orioles. Joseph, and then Flaherty. He's only had 2 at-bats against left-handed pitching this year. Told you at the beginning he's going to be an important guy. This is a breaking ball that hangs over there. He's got plate coverage. He's able to yank that ball by Pompey. Dalton thinks or plays him shaded the other way. He hits it by Pompey into the gap.
That's the first at bat that Flaherty's had against Buehrle, so they don't have much information as to how to play against Flaherty. Obviously, he never hit against him before. Top of the order, Everett Cabrera pulls it foul. Cabrera's been a nice pickup for the Orioles, and certainly they didn't plan on J.J. Hardy being hurt, but since their shortstop is on the DL, Cabrera has stepped in, and he's had hits in 9 of his 11 games coming into this one.
You know what they really like, what they have seen from Cabrera, is his fielding. He has done a very good job taking over at shortstop, while J.J. Hardy is getting himself back to health.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Goins behind second. Throws on the run. 1 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Nathan Eovaldi starting for the Yankees. in that ball game, and Kyle Lobstein, the left-hander for the Tigers, and Tigers are getting good pitching. We all know they can hit, and they continue to swing the bats, but the Tigers are getting pretty good pitching early in the season.
Getting very good pitching.
Without the big guy, Justin Verlander.
Or that other big guy who's now pitching in Washington.
Yeah. This is Steve Pearce, and Flaherty's at third base with one out, so the infield will stay back. They'll trade a run for an out here early in the ball game. Blue Jays have a 6-1 lead. Bouncing ball, Donaldson. What a play. That ball really kicked up on him on the dirt. You can see him look into the dugout in frustration. That ball hit the artificial surface, and then when it hit the dirt, it really took off, and he made a heck of a play.
And the dirt around the bases is rock hard here. I mean, really hard. You have no idea where this ball is going to bounce if you're Josh Donaldson. He's going to try and charge it, then realizes that ball he cannot get on the short hop, so he's got to take the in-between hop, and you can see it was slightly moving to the right. He stayed right with that. You have to have some soft hands and be a pretty good athlete to make that play.
Chris Davis loops it into right field. That'll bounce, and Bautista has to play it on a hop. So Davis is aboard. A 2-out single.
They keep coming after you, the Baltimore Orioles, don't they?
Oh, they got a great lineup. They got a great lineup, a great offense. They have a team much like the Blue Jays that can score anywhere in their lineup.
And they hit so many home runs that they are never out of any game.
Adam Jones cuts on the first pitch. Jones had a single to center to start the second, but he was forced out to end the inning. He never moved off first base until that force out to end the inning. He didn't mean to, and Burley jumps ahead 0-2.
Oh, this is where Burley's got to get all of his experience right here. He and Russell Martin have to figure out a way to get a very hot hitter out. Do you take a shot inside here?
There's another ball driven to center. Pompey with a long run, dives and can't make the catch. Chris Davis is coming around third. They got a shot at the plate. Goins' throw is in time. He got him. Ryan Goins with that shortstop arm threw a seed to Russell Martin, who was camped out. Jones with his second hit of the ball game. Chris Davis running with 2 outs. Pompey can't make the play, but gets up and throws a perfect relay to Goins, who turned around and fired to the plate to gun down Davis.
Welcome back to the Rogers Center, where the Blue Jays lead the Orioles 6-2 heading to the bottom of the third. And Sportsnet.ca has a new feature out now called 9 Innings, and we're joined by the writer and creator of that feature, Shai Davidi. Shai, tell us a little bit about 9 Innings.
Well, it's going to be a weekly Q&A, Barry, with various people around the game, and we'll go 9 questions, hence the 9 innings. We'll ask them about various topics. We'll try to keep it entertaining and informative, and we'll have different people in there every week.
The first one you spoke to was Baltimore Oriole and former Blue Jay Travis Snider, who's had a bit of a rough start to tonight's game, but he talked about making his first return back to the Rogers Center. How did he expect the fans were going to treat him here?
He was really curious about that, Barry, and he understood that people were still rooting for him when he was at the Pittsburgh Pirates, but now that he's back in the American League East, he isn't so certain that Blue Jay fans are still going to be rooting for him. So he was curious to see about the reactions. We knew it was a bit mixed, but I think he was very excited about this, not nostalgic, but he has a lot of great memories here.
I bet you, Buck, he's kind of hoping that first game back at Rogers Center wasn't tonight, the way things have gone so far.
It has been a rough start for Travis Snider in his return to Rogers Center, that's for sure. Shai Davidi did a nice job on the 9 innings. I read that, and that'll be an interesting feature to check out every week. Says Deanna Navarro. Donner hits it hard to center field. Jones makes a shoe top catch. Deanna making a bid for his second hit off Bud Moore's tonight.
They were shallow in center field. You can see Adam Jones right behind the pitcher, and he reads it, takes a good route to the ball, and takes it right off the turf.
We mentioned that the Orioles are playing shallow, and Jones is certainly the quarterback of that outfield. He'll move both of his wingmen according to the pitch, according to the hitter, the count. He'll move them in and out, left and right.
Yeah, it's really interesting to watch them defend depending on the count. You can see right now they are pretty much straight away. They're punching in the outfield, shading Russell in center field just a little bit to right center. But as the count goes along and the at bat goes along, you see a lot of pitches. You see them start to move.
2-0 to Russell Martin. Martin walked and scored on Ryan Goins' 2-run single. Norris hasn't had good command all night. Been struggling to throw strikes.
First inning, he was good. He attacked both Reyes, Donaldson, and Bautista. Struck out Jose to end that first inning, but ever since that home run by Edwin Encarnacion, he has not been as aggressive in the strike zone.
Missed badly on that one, and Martin will walk for a second time. That's 3 walks issued by Bud Norris. Strikes have literally been a 50-50 proposition for Norris in this ballgame, throwing just 54% strikes to this point. And that's going to get you in trouble with the Blue Jays lineup.
Yeah, they're so strong up and down that lineup. You know, you got the lead. It's 6-2. The same thing right here if you're Dalton Pompey. 4-pitch walk to Martin. If he throws you a fastball first pitch, be ready.
He was. Pompey had that rough day on Sunday. Misplayed a ball in the outfield, had a throwing error, and I think he has now realized, hey, I'm going to go out and play the way I've played my whole life. And that's what Bautista said to the young players early on. Just be yourself. Don't try to be anything more than what you've done to get here. And I think Pompey was playing a little bit conservatively.
You know, I can speak from experience. It's really hard to play this game when you're afraid to make mistakes. You know, you almost have to have a carefree attitude and I don't care what happens. I'm just going to just go out there and just play as hard as I can, and whatever happens, happen. It's very tough, first of all, to play this game, and then to have all those negative thoughts coming into your head. It makes it even worse.
One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. We are in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Blue Jays scored 6 runs in their half of the 2nd. Pompey stays alive. We mentioned the 2 errors in the inning. when the Blue Jays scored their 6 runs. All 6 runs are earned charge to Bud Norris.
Same thing happened in Baltimore the last time they saw him. They made an error. In fact, he made the error, but he was also charged with 8 earnings in that game.
Good job with 2 strikes. Pompey got that breaking ball and was able to foul it off.
They find out in a hurry if you can handle the fastball in the big leagues, don't they?
Well, everybody can hit the fastball.
Yeah. He had a couple of home runs off a fastball, so now the Orioles are messing with him.
Drills that fastball. That's going to go into right. Snyder plays it off the wall. He bobbles it again. They stop Martin at third. Dalton Pompey has been on base twice. He's walked and now doubled, and he hit that hard.
Well, it was a fastball, and it looked like they wanted to get the ball up to see if Dalton would charge after it, and it caught too much of the plate. Here's Travis Snyder bobbling the ball one more time in the outfield, but it's not going to cost him. Watch where this pitch is. That's belt high. You can see Caleb Joseph, the catcher. He's up. He wants that ball about letter high. See if he will chase after it, but caught too much of the plate, and he made him pay.
The Orioles playing the infield in once again. Second and third. One out for Kevin Pillar, who chased a couple of pitches outside and struck out in the second. They're going to continue to work him outside. I don't think they're going to show him anything on the inner part of the plate the way he chased early.
Unless it's a mistake, I wouldn't look for anything on the inner half. Look for something away. You've got the infield in. That makes a good hitter a real good hitter.
Good job by Pillar. He chases home Martin, and here comes Pompey right behind him, and the throw is late. Pillar goes into second on the throw. He didn't hit it hard, but he hit it back up the middle. He lined it into center. Pompey and Martin scored.
He stayed right on that one. That was the at-bat he was looking for last time up with the bases loaded. That approach, let that ball get deep and try and shoot it back through the middle. Slow everything down. Good read by Pompey at second base on the base hit, and with his speed, really no chance to get him at the plate. Orioles miss another cutoff man. And the runner runs into second base, and that's going to run Bud Norris out of this game.
Blue Jays rude to Bud Norris. They knock him out of the game early. Brian Mattis, the lefty, into the ball game. The Blue Jays lead at 8-2. Bud Norris is out. The Blue Jays have scored 8 runs against Norris. The runner at second is his responsibility. Brian Mattis into the game to make his 5th appearance of the season.
Mattis was a starter at the beginning of his career. There are his numbers. This year, asked to go a couple of innings tonight.
Bud Norris, 8 earned runs. The first time he pitched against the Blue Jays. 8 more tonight, and there's 1 more at second base. Ryan Goins had a 2-run single in that 6-run second inning. His first base hit with the bases loaded. He is now 1 for 6. It was a big hit in that inning. He really picked up Kevin Pillar, who had struck out for the first out of the inning. Goins making his first start at second base this season. Last year he made 46 starts at second.
Gets a chance now against the left-hander to show what he can do. Big Brian Mattis is ahead in the count, 3-0.
Another pitch down and away. Jose Reyes is on deck. Shortstop back in the lineup after missing 3 straight games against the Braves. He's already had an impact. He scored a run, driven in a run. There's a base hit to left field. Delman Young way to his left. Pillar's going to come in to score, and Ryan Goins with a 3 RBI game.
That number 9 slot for the Blue Jays this year has been hot. Hot, hot, hot. Good approach right there. 3-1. Stay right with it. That'll close the books on Bud Norris as that run is charged to him. Blue Jays put up a 6 spot last inning. They got 3 so far here. Look at that. Let that ball get a little bit deep. Don't overcommit too soon and drive that ball the other way. That'll score Pillar without a throw.
Reyes with a check swing, and anytime he does that, everybody on the Blue Jays bench is going to wince.
Yeah, hold their breath just a little bit. That's how he got hurt in Baltimore.
What can Reyes do, batting right-handed, to avoid aggravating that injury?
You know, if it's me, I'm looking for a ball middle in. If you look for the ball middle in, you don't overcompensate and reach for the ball and stretch that side. You have to be very patient if they try and stay away from you. Keep the ball away from you. Just be patient. Wait for that ball to come in.
Reyes hits it high and deep to left. Delman Young back at the track, at the wall, makes the catch. Goins hustling back to first. Reyes gave it a drive. Bud Norris, the starter, treated rudely by the Blue Jays. His first start. He pitched 3 innings, allowed 8 earned runs. Tonight he goes 2 1/3 and is charged with 9 earned runs.
Yeah, even worse than that start down in Baltimore, as his night is finished, and they needed some innings out of their starter. You mentioned the Ubaldo Jimenez start in Boston when he was thrown out in the 4th inning, put a undue stress on the bullpen for the Orioles, and now just 2 1/3 tonight. The Orioles have some pitching prospects if they feel like they need to make some changes and get some fresh arms here. Got some kids down in the minor leagues that they speak very highly of.
Buck Showalter told me tonight he's got a 36-man pitching staff. Some of them happen to be in the minors. He said, I'm not afraid to bring somebody up from Delmarva. That's in A-ball. He said, if he can pitch, I'll run him up there.
Yeah, get him here.
Ball on his strike to Josh Donaldson. 3 times in the last 5 games, the Orioles bullpen has had to pitch at least 4 innings.
That will take its toll.
That backs up on you.
Yeah.
That's something that really creates problems, and it stacks up. And Showalter was wary of this, especially first game of a series, where you have to call upon your relievers to work hard in the first game of the series. You just don't know what the rest of the series is going to be.
And you know where they might get painted into a corner is players that are out of options. They might have to lose guys, or they're carrying a Rule 5 guy down in that bullpen also, where if you want to make some changes, you might have to expose some of them to waivers.
Yeah, Jason Garcia is the Rule 5 player that's currently in their bullpen. You saw Bautista on deck. This is a 3-2 pitch. Donaldson takes so on. 4 walks in the game, 2 walks in the inning. That's the first issued by Brian Mattis. We're only in the 3rd inning. The Blue Jays have a 9-2 lead.
Hitting for the 3rd time.
Jose Bautista was called out on strikes and lined out. Tried to check his swing and went around. Oh, and 2. Bautista facing Mattis is 0 for 8 against lefty pitching so far. He had a good cut at that pitch.
Yeah, he had a good pitch to hit. They wanted to go inside. 0 for 8, huh, this season? That's not going to last.
Laid off that breaking ball. Blue Jays would have to sweep this 3-game series to go 5-5 on the homestand. Then they head out on a 10-game road trip. Tampa Bay, Boston, and Cleveland. Bautista drives it to right. Snyder back at the track, at the wall, jumps and falls down as he makes the catch. He stayed with it. He's been a busy guy out in right, but the Blue Jays score 3 more in the bottom of the 3rd. Kevin Pillar, he delivers. Blue Jays getting production from everybody top to bottom.
Jays on Sports. Presented by the 2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Welcome back inside Rogers Center. Blue Jays have a 9-2 lead for Mark Buehrle. Buehrle gets ahead of Delman Young. Young lined out to right field his first time up, hit it hard, but right to Jose Bautista. Little chopper. Buehrle's a 4-time Gold Glover. Makes it an easy play. One down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Tampa Bay breaking in a new second baseman, Ryan Brett, and Archer. He's a good fielder as well.
That's right where we're heading, right, on Thursday?
Wade Miley has allowed just 1 hit through 4 innings. Archer 3 hits, 4 and a third. Archer has 5 strikeouts already tonight.
I think the approach right now for the Baltimore Orioles, even though you're down by 7 runs, it's look who you're facing. You're facing Mark Buehrle. He's going to be around the plate. He's not going to walk too many batters. So I think you still have to be very aggressive at the plate. You're going to have to hit your way back into this ball game.
That's the way teams in the East play. Everybody just keeps banging away. You never know what's going to happen. 2-2 pitch. Donaldson, it's short, deflects it in. Can't make a play on it. Snyder will have an infield hit. Buehrle's always going to give you a ball to put in play, and that's why the defense is so important behind him.
Yeah, he likes to work quickly, throws a lot of strikes, and he won't walk people. The defense, you can't give them outs. When you've got a lead like this, you got to make plays.
This is Manny Machado. He hit into a 5-4 fielder's choice to end the second inning. Machado bunts it down the third baseline, and Donaldson doesn't have a play. Donaldson was back. Machado with a perfect bunt single. And you're right, just keep pecking away. The Orioles, they got 19 home runs. They, much like the Blue Jays, can come back from early deficits.
And I think that's why that surprises him right there. How deep Josh Donaldson was playing, and especially against the left-hander. Normally right-handed hitters want to take their cuts against those lefties like that, but Machado heads up play, drops the bunt down, gets himself a hit.
This is the catcher, Caleb Joseph. Joseph singled into third, scored on the Flaherty double, and now he hits Bobby Dickerson. Oh my. That hit him in the backside, and he is only about 45 feet from home plate.
Yeah, if that. He's there because he wants to get an angle for that runner at second base. And you can see how close Bobby is there at third. Look at the right side of your screen. The line drive hits him right in the backside. But you can see he's taking a look at his runner at second.
Yeah, third base coaches, they come down that line to get an angle so they can see the base runner, the outfielders, and where those outfielders are going should there be a base hit. And that gives him the best angle. Kevin Pillar over in the alley. That ball is carrying a long way. He makes the catch. Snyder tags at second. He'll move over to third. It looked like Pillar got surprised by how well that ball carried, but he was able to make the catch on the warning track.
Yeah, his initial track to the ball was straight across, and then realized that ball's carrying to left field. There he goes, and now he's got to give a little bit of ground, and it's hit to his glove side as he reaches out to finally haul it in. Ball's carrying.
This is Ryan Flaherty, who had an RBI double off of Buehrle in the third. Flaherty is starting at second base. We mentioned Jonathan Scope, their regular second baseman, is on the disabled list. He has a strained ligament in his right leg. Many people mistakenly believe that he was hurt on the Pablo Sandoval slide. That's not the case. He hurt himself running up the first baseline and hit the first base bag hard and strained that knee ligament, and he's probably going to be out a couple months.
And he did a no-no if you're a base runner at third. He lunged at the bag at first base, and that leg hit the bag awkwardly, hyperextended that knee, and actually strained one of the ligaments in his knee.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Travis Snyder had an infield single. Manny Machado a bunt single. The runners at the corners. That hits Burley. He stays on it. Goes to first to retire Flaherty and keep the Orioles from scoring. They strand a pair. We move to the bottom of the 4th. Burley and the Jays have a 9-2 lead.
MLB.com At Bat is the official app of Major League Baseball. Listen to live audio, follow games pitch by pitch, and enjoy in-game video highlights. The app is available on the iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, Android, and BlackBerry. Season-long subscription packages are available. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. And a look at the app tonight, gentlemen. You see that rookie sensation Chris Bryant already 1 for 2 with an RBI double, a 2-run double for the Chicago Cubs. That kid is making the most of his situation already.
Boy, he sure is, Barry. He had a great spring out in Arizona with the Cubs. Was sent to the minor leagues to start the season, but gotten off to a decent start. There's a liner to center, and Jones backpedals as Encarnacion hit it right on the nose again.
3 knocks last night for Bryant. They just called up another young phenom today, didn't they?
Addison Russell, second baseman. They drafted him or traded for him from Oakland, and he was a shortstop. Now he's playing second base. It says Deanna Navarro, who will bat right-handed. Navarro normally catches Mark Burley. He has caught the previous 2 starts for Burley. Tonight he's the DH.
And all of them last year, and really did a good job with Mark.
Breaking ball in there for a strike. It's 0-2. Brian Mattis, formerly a starter, he was also #1 pick of the Orioles, made the conversion to the bullpen, much like Zach Britton, who has become the closer for the Orioles. Breaking ball in the dirt, and Navarro chased.
The championship-winning Honda CRF 450R for those who dare to ride red.
Blue Jays have knocked the starter Bud Norris out of the game. They scored 6 runs in the second, 3 more in the third. All 9 runs charged to Norris. Russell Martin has walked twice and scored twice. The Blue Jays have one of the most potent top of the orders in all of baseball, but boy, early in the season, the bottom 4 spots in the lineup have really been productive. Tonight, they have scored 6 of the 9 Blue Jays runs.
How about that number 9 slot also staying hot?
Ryan Goins in the 9 spot tonight is 2 for 2 with 3 RBI. Normally, find Devin Travis down there. But Goins with a 2-run single and an RBI single. Martin flies out to left. Good inning for Brian Mattis. Blue Jays retired in order for the first time tonight. Now it's time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn.
Fans, you've seen the slogan. Now you have a chance to get the T-shirt. It is Connect with the Jays night, presented by Honda. Tuesday, May 5th, the Blue Jays host the Yankees at 7:07. The first 15,000 fans will receive a Blue Jays and one Love TO Come Together T-shirt. Go to BlueJays.com for more. Buck.
Thank you, Barry. Look at the T-shirt and be part of that. Mark Burley starting the 5th here as Everett Cabrera tries to drop down a bunt. That's one thing we're going to see a few more of, I think, with this new surface at Rogers Center. Guys trying to bunt. Manny Machado already had a bunt single tonight.
You know, even if they fake bunt a little bit, it's going to draw the infield in, because you get it by the pitcher and you can beat that out.
Reyes at short. In time, Everett Cabrera is retired.
You start bringing in the infield like that, and that ball's going to start finding more holes.
You saw Ubaldo Jimenez on the Orioles bench. He'll start the middle game of this 3-game series. It'll be the same pitching matchups, all 3 games that we had in Baltimore. Start the home schedule for the Orioles. Jimenez and Sanchez in game 2. Tillman and Hutchison in game 3.
That was the only game the Blue Jays lost, wasn't it? The Jimenez start?
He was terrific.
Wow.
He was on his game. Jimenez 7 innings. And the Orioles won that game 7-1. Jimenez allowed just 1 hit in his 7 innings of work, walked the batter and struck out 8. Steve Pearce fouls it up the left field line. Pearce off to a bit of a slow start. He had a couple of home runs early in the season. Changeup, he has to stretch to make contact.
You see, he's got a lot of movement, that pre-movement in his swing, and he can turn on anybody's fastball. I think that's why Mark Burley is really starting to throw it a little bit slower, pulling the string against him.
That's foul by a couple of feet all the way down the left field line.
You know, you see that from a hitter. He's winding up almost, and he wants to get the barrel out in front. What do? Take a little something off.
Go softer.
Go softer. Like a curveball, backdoor curveball right here.
Changeup, that's soft. Turned it over and it sailed out of the zone away. We mentioned Russell Martin catching Burley for the first time, and Burley doesn't shake catchers off. Another changeup, Reyes at short. Strong throw. 2 down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. 5th inning here at Rogers Center. Blue Jays have a 9-2 lead, and Chris Davis fouls it up. Davis is 1 for 2. He had a single into right field. He was gunned down at plate on a terrific relay and cutoff. Adam Jones hit a double into center. Dalton Pompey knocked it down, made a strike throw to Ryan Goins, who in turn threw to Russell Martin, who tagged Davis out at the plate. That ended the 3rd.
That'll get Dalton another outfield assist, his 2nd of the season. Executed perfectly. He didn't catch the ball that was hit by Davis, and he did the next best thing. He just got it to his relay man. As an outfielder, you have only one job after the ball falls in the outfield. Get it to that relay man. Let him take care of everything else, and Goins handled it perfectly.
Burley walks Chris Davis with 2 outs, and that brings up the red-hot Adam Jones. First walk issued by Burley tonight. Jones is already 2 for 2. Singled in the 2nd, doubled in the 3rd. Jones with 2 hits tonight. He already came in leading the American League in hits. He now has 23 hits. That ties him with Adrian Gonzalez for the major league lead. Mile high into left field. Pilar jogs over near the foul line. Jones aggressively swinging the bat. This time they get him to fly out.
Rogers Center, and Greg Zahn continues to take over the Sportsnet Twitter handle. If you have a question for him, go to @Sportsnet using the hashtag JaysTalk. Zahn will be there for the rest of the 5th inning to answer your question. And speaking of questions, Buck and Tabby, I've had a number of people ask me on Twitter over the last 24 hours about Daniel Norris, who told us after the game that he is suffering from a phase of dead arm. The question is, what exactly is dead arm, and does it sound a lot worse than it is?
Well, Barry, it certainly sounds a lot worse than it is, and I've experienced it as a catcher. Pat, I don't know if you've ever had a problem with a dead arm, but generally it happens in spring training when you start throwing a lot for the first time.
Or as a player, I was moving around from the outfield to the infield, the third to first and all that, and you're making all these throws. And simply put, a dead arm is you go to throw the baseball and there's nothing there. You just don't have the same arm strength. It feels the same. It feels like you're trying to throw it hard, but the ball's just not coming out. It's not getting to where you need it to as quickly as you're hoping for. And that basically is it. For Daniel, you know, his scouting reports are 94, 95, 96 miles per hour with his fastball. You see him pitch now, and it's 91, 90, 92. You get the rest, you'll come back, and you'll be fine. I think the better question, Buck, is why does he have that now? And you and I think we have the answer.
This ball is drilled by Pompey. It's going to go down into the corner and left, and he's headed for second. Dalton Pompey has been on base all 3 times. He's walked and hit a pair of doubles. This one as a right-handed hitter.
Good approach right there. Stay aggressive. Say the ball comes over the middle of the plate, just swing. Don't think too much. Just let your natural ability take over. That's a pretty good swing right there. It looked like a breaking ball coming in on his hands and pulled him in and ripped it down the left field line.
Young players are going to have ups and downs, and Dalton's going to have some ups and downs still. But, boy, it's good to see him bounce back after that disappointing game on Sunday. Kevin Pillar, a 2-run single his last time up. He had been scuffling. Coming into this game, he was 1 for his last 15. He struck out with the bases loaded in the second. But Goins picked him up with a single. There's another base hit for Pillar. Pompey will stop at third. As the Blue Jays are starting to time up Ryan Mattis.
Yeah, and that swing is getting a little bit shorter right there for Kevin Pillar. He had a beautiful hit his last time up. The last pitch that Bud Norris threw, you can see that's short. Pick the leg up, put it down, get that swing started, stay inside the baseball. Pillar's 2 for 3.
The bottom of the order continues to produce. Ryan Goins at the plate. He's 2 for 2. He's driven in 3 runs tonight. It's his first 3 RBI game. He's had a 4 RBI game. That came last July. He pops this one up. Pierce makes the catch, and Goins pops out to first. That's the first out of the inning.
You know, you put so much into trying to get through those first 6 batters of the Blue Jays lineup. You're concentrating. Every pitch has a purpose. Every pitch you give a little something extra because they're such good hitters, and they've got history behind them, what they can do. Then you finally get through Russell Martin and say, okay, I got these young guys. You take a deep breath, and the next thing you know, you got a couple of guys on.
Bottom third of the order in 9 at-bats have just made 2 outs. That's turning the lineup over.
No rest area. There's no rest area in the Blue Jays offense.
Well, and that's what Bautista was talking about when he mentions, hey, we know what we're doing at the top of the order. All you guys have to do is get on base. Just keep the innings going. Roll the lineup over. Reyes knows what he's doing. Donaldson knows what he's doing. Bautista, Encarnacion, Navarro. It's a deep lineup.
You know, and it's an American League lineup, if you will. You know, I talk about rest areas in lineups. Think about it in the National League. When you got that pitcher spot, you can always find an out and navigate your way down to that pitcher spot if you're in trouble. Walk a guy, pitch around a guy, whatever. Here, you can't do that in the American League.
Reyes with a mighty cut. No problems with his rib cage on that swing. He is hitting naturally right-handed against the lefty. Started out this game batting right-handed against the right-hander, Bud Norris. Fouled off the catcher's mitt. Reyes, the problems he has with that fractured rib on his left side is when he extends to hit a pitch, batting left-handed.
Batting left-handed. That's right. The extension through. There's Devin Travis, who is now on the bench. He is out there hoping for tomorrow that he will be back. Doesn't hurt Jose from the right side.
There's a little looper into center. Pompey goes back and tags, and he's going to score. So Pompey's wheels has gotten Reyes a couple of RBIs tonight. Pompey scored on Reyes' fielder's choice in the second. Here he scores on the sac fly by the Blue Jays shortstop.
Adam Jones had ideas of maybe throwing this ball to the plate, but then he realized Pompey runs way too fast, and there was not going to be a play on him. Reyes with a couple of RBIs.
He's got 7 now. Boy, what a difference he makes in the lineup. When he's in the lineup, this offense really starts to roll. Josh Donaldson hits one right over the pitcher's head into center. He's been on base 3 straight at bats.
Boy, he loves that number 2 hole. He's going to get fastballs. And he's a good low ball hitter and just shoots that one back through the middle.
Two outs. Ball bounced in the dirt. Bautista lays off. Jose is 0 for 3 tonight. Reyes looks as though he's had no ill effects from playing tonight. That's great news for the Blue Jays. Off-speed pitch, tap foul.
You know, you and I were talking before the ball game tonight about the Blue Jays offense, and Reyes really makes them go. They've now taken lead over again and run scored in the American League. They were leading on Sunday, did not have a good game Sunday. They were off yesterday. Everybody else played. Who overtook them? They're back in the lead.
Fly ball to the left, but Delman Young's got room. Blue Jays stranded pair, but they have a big lead. They lead by 8. We're headed to the 6th, and here comes the Home Hardware Cleanup Crew, brought to you by Natura. Home Hardware's exclusive line of safe, environmentally friendly cleaning products.
Enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone tonight are TD contest winners. Today, share a video or photo showing your Blue Jays spirit by using the hashtag TD Tuesday and tag @BlueJays for a chance to win. While over in the Jays Care Community Clubhouse, kids from Up Front welcomes 3to Be Foundation. Buck?
Thank you, Barry. That ball is a fair ball off the bat of Delman Young down into the corner. Pilar makes a strong throw. They got him! Oh, no, he missed the tag. The throw was right on the money. Goins anchored at second base. Pilar has 3 outfield assists already this season, and Goins quickly swiped the tag but missed Delman Young.
Should have had 4 right there. What a play by Pilar. Catching the ball off the wall with his bare hand. 1 step and a strike to second base. Now Ryan Goins, catch it, throw your glove right in front of the bag. He'll slide right into you. He swipes at him and he's safe. Catch the ball, put it on the bag, he'll slide right into you. And you can see from that replay he was safe.
Umpire at second base is Trip Gibson, and we have seen the umpires make some terrific calls tonight. Kevin Pilar plays the same way, whether it's 0-0 or 10-2. He's predictable.
It's the only way to play.
The only way to play. Not everybody takes that approach. You know what? Who appreciates plays like that and efforts like that? Pitching staff.
Sure.
He throws that guy out. It's nobody on and 1 out. Mark Burley has been on the mound, and the Blue Jays have scored 10 or more runs in each of his first 3 starts this season. He is a run magnet. Snyder bounces it to second. Goins throws him out.
The championship-winning Honda CRF 450R for those who dare to ride red.
We're in the 6th inning. Liam Hendricks starting to loosen up. He has pitched well out of the bullpen early on for the Blue Jays. Manny Machado hits it to left field. That ball is down in the corner and foul. Again, Kevin Pilar going into that corner like it was a 0-0 game.
Yeah, we've seen him go into those stands aggressively. Ball hooking down the left field line. Look how far he has to go to make an effort on this one. He slides and the legs act as shock absorbers right against that wall.
Kevin Pilar is 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. He scored a run. Dalton Pompey is 2 for 2 with a walk, and he has scored 3 runs. Do you think they heard the pregame press conference with John Gibbons when Gibbons mentioned Michael Saunders might join the team on Friday?
I think so. You can't get anything by ball players. Huh?
Gibbons in his pregame press meeting talked about Michael Saunders and the possibility of he joining the Blue Jays on Friday in Tampa. This is a high fly ball. Pilar has plenty of room. Delman Young tagging up at third, and he'll jog in with the 3rd Orioles run. Delman Young continues to hit well against Mark Burley. That double was his 22nd career base hit against Burley.
And another run scored. Yeah, it's funny how ball players, you know, they know the score and they know what's happening. There's a really good chance that we'll see Michael Saunders in Tampa. So there has to be a corresponding roster move, right?
Yeah, sure does.
So while you have a chance,
play hard.
Play hard. Make an impression.
Competition is beautiful. It really helps the team. You got a lot of players vying for playing time. Everybody's going to benefit. The Blue Jays have scored 10 runs tonight. It's the 4th time they have scored 10 or more runs in a game this season. Caleb Joseph gives it a drive. Bautista runs it down. Orioles get a run, but Mark Burley leaves with a 10-3 lead.
One nation, one team, one store. JShop.ca is the exclusive official team shop of your Toronto Blue Jays. Visit our newest flagship store at the Toronto Eaton Centre, Level 1, or visit jshop.ca. Buck, I talked to Devin Travis on the weekend, and he said that seeing kids with his name and number on the back of their jerseys is just surreal for him. What was that like for you guys? I know you didn't have the names maybe all the time, but to see kids wearing your jerseys.
Yeah, it's got to be a great feeling, and I honestly can't remember ever seeing mine until I retired long after my playing career. Russell Martin's jersey is very popular. Devin Travis.
You know what it's like, I'm sure, for Devin Travis, the first time you saw yourself on a baseball
card. Yeah, that was a special feeling for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly how it felt for Travis and some of these other young Blue Jay players, seeing their jerseys walking around the stadium. First time you see your name and face on a baseball card. Wow.
Edwin Encarnacion got all the scoring started tonight with a leadoff home run in the second. Blue Jays sent 10 men to the plate, scored 6 runs on 4 hits. Orioles contributing to that inning. They committed a couple of errors in that inning. We mentioned the Blue Jays have scored 10 runs 4 times already this season. Mark Burley's been on the mound 3 of those times, and they have scored 10 or more runs 3 times against the Orioles. Another interesting aspect of the 10-run games, they've played 14 games and they've already had 4 10-run games. In 2014, their 4th 10-run game didn't come until game 52.
Can you say explosive offense?
Yeah, this team is just fine. Wow, forget about this one. Upper deck, yes, sir.
I've seen a few of those 5th deck home runs here in this ballpark. This is the latest one right here. Wow. Edwin Encarnacion. Mattis thinks he had him struck out the previous pitch, and then he made a mistake, and Edwin, he wound up and swung as hard as he could on that one.
Those home runs, you don't even have time to say back.
No. That's a back. That's what you get. He knows he got it.
Both he and Mattis both.
It's just a matter of how far.
Johnny Navarro bounces it to the right side. Flaherty, a desperation toss, but Navarro crosses up the shift. 2 hits for DeHonor.
Mark Burley looks like he is finished, but the Blue Jays offense isn't. Edwin gets all of this one. Watch where this one lands. First row.
Remember when it was unheard of anybody hitting one in the upper deck? Canseco, I think, was the first one to hit it up there in the playoffs. Russell Martin hits one to right. Snyder catches it on the warning track. One down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Thank you very much, Jamie. The Yankees, Blue Jays, and Rays all at 6 and 7 at the start of play tonight. Boston 8 and 5. They have a half-game lead over these Orioles. This division is going to be a dogfight all year long. I don't see anybody that's positioned to run away and hide.
No. And right now, these teams are just trying to get their feet wet into the season. We're into the first couple weeks of April, just trying to get an idea. I like the Blue Jays' chances because they can hit. if they stay healthy and they catch the ball and get some decent starting pitching, they have as good a chance as anybody in this division.
For Encarnacion, 2 home runs tonight. He has 18 two-homer games and won 3 home run game. So this is his 19th career multi-home run game. When he gets hot, nobody can cool him off.
Yeah, he's in one of those grooves. And how about Jose Reyes coming back in? What a difference the lineup looks.
Little spark to the offense. The Blue Jays managed just 2 runs on 5 hits Sunday against Atlanta. Tonight, they have 11 runs on 12 hits and 2 home runs. Yana Navarro, the DH, he's 2 for 4. Pilar with a 2-hit night, 2 RBIs. Pompey's been on base all 3 times. He's walked and hit a pair of doubles.
You know, one thing that I have taken away this first part of the season for the offense, you're going to have to make pitches to get these guys out. I think it's going to take really good pitch ball games to shut the Blue Jays down. If you don't, they can hurt you.
Another base hit for Pompey into left. Navarro will stop at second. The Drive the Game is presented by the 2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
This is an easy one tonight. It just happened. Edwin, liftoff, deep to left field. And you don't see a lot of fifth deck home runs in this ballpark. Well, here's what. First row in the fifth deck.
That's the 18th fifth deck home run in this ballpark's history. Edwin Encarnacion has done it twice. Mattis out of the game. Goes 3 innings. He threw 59 pitches, so you would expect he would be done for the rest of this series. This is the Rule 5 pitcher we were talking about earlier, Jason Garcia.
There's his numbers in 3 games. He's a rookie, obviously, being a Rule 5 guy. He's got a good arm, a good fastball, and a good breaking ball. In fact, his first big league strikeout was against Edwin Encarnacion when the Jays were down in Baltimore.
Right-hander in to face Kevin Pilar. Pilar needed a good game coming into this game. As we mentioned, he was 1 for his previous 15 at-bats. Tonight he is 2 for 3. Jumps on that inside pitch and hooks it foul.
A lot of Blue Jays were out here early today trying to get some extra batting practice after the day off. You'll see that a lot. Players are out here, and it's optional. They can come out and get their hacks, and a lot of them are here today, and it's carried over into the ball game.
0-2. Time was called before Garcia went into his delivery. Grounded to first. Pierce looks at second. Garcia covers the bag, and Pilar's retired. Runners move up, but now there are 2 down. Brian Goins, he's had a good night. 2 for 3. Goins collected his first big league hit with the bases loaded in the second. On a 2-run single to right.
Got a chance to have a big day today. Base hit here, and he might get himself 2 more RBIs.
His career high in RBIs is 4. Happened last year against Boston. Look out. Goins hit by that pitch, got him on the right leg, and Blue Jays batters have been taking a beating lately.
That time it just looked like young Garcia yanked that ball. Still doesn't make it feel any better. You can see Goins is trying to walk that thing off. Fastball right on the thigh. Yanks that cutter, and you just can't get out of the way of that thing. It just tracks you.
Bases loaded. Jose Reyes back in the batting order after missing the entire 3-game series over the weekend. Reyes hit the ball to the wall in left in the 3rd inning. Jose has 2 career grand slams. If you're wondering why Reyes is batting right-handed, it's because of that rib injury on his left side. The only thing that hurts Reyes in regards to that injury is swinging the bat from the left side. Everything else is fine.
Just when he extends through from the right side, he doesn't have that problem.
Up the middle, nice play by Cabrera as he takes a hit away from Reyes and saves another run. Edwin Encarnacion, his 2nd home run of the night. It's the 2nd time he's hit a home run into the 500 level in his career. The Blue Jays with a big lead. to check in on MLB 15, the show. Prior to the game, PlayStation provided us with a prediction of who they thought the Blue Jays player of the game would be tonight. They picked Mark Buehrle, and they were right on target.
Yeah, they certainly were. The show says 7 1/3 innings and 7 strikeouts for Mark Buehrle, where in reality he goes 6 innings. That's the 3rd straight time that he has done that this season. Just a walk and a couple of strikeouts, but he pitched to the scoreboard. He's in line for the win. John Gibbons has made a pitching change. Buehrle is out. He and Pete Walker talking over that. Mark Buehrle in line for that 3rd win. Liam Hendricks has come out of the bullpen.
Hendricks has pitched well out of the bullpen. His numbers through 5 games, impressive.
They certainly are. He's coming out and he's throwing lots of strikes. His fastball seems to be a little bit better. His breaking ball is a lot better this year.
Hendricks had a terrific outing on Saturday when he came into the ball game and had runners at 2nd and 3rd, got a fly out, and then struck out A.J. Pierzynski and Johnny Gomes to strand a pair of base runners. That kept the Braves in check. This is Flaherty. He slices it down the left field line. Nice catch by a fan down there.
Liam is making quality pitches. I think that's the one thing that you see right now. Is he doesn't have to try and get himself through 5 or 6 innings like he did when he was a starter. Now it's just, let me throw the ball as hard as I can for as long as I can, and I'll get plenty of rest in between my appearances. The quality of his pitches is that breaking ball right there. They've been outstanding.
Yeah, that's the pitch he struck out A.J. Pierzynski with on Saturday. Pierzynski was batting with runners at the corners. He threw that pitch down and in just like that, and Pierzynski struck out. That was a huge inning because in the bottom of that inning, the Blue Jays scored 3 runs to take the lead. Atlanta was trying to add to their lead, and Hendricks closed them out. Here he lets the number 9 hitter get away. He walks him. When you talk the American League East, this is all about power, and the Yankees, they've hit a couple tonight. They have 20. Orioles have 19. Blue Jays and Edwin Encarnacion have hit 2 tonight, so they are right there with the leaders. Lots of power in the East.
Lots of power. We're not even talking about the Red Sox yet. They have not gotten hot. How about the Mariners on that list with their new acquisition, their cleanup hitter?
Yeah, and that's one of the big bats that the Orioles are missing, Nelson Cruz. Off to a great start out in the Northwest with the Mariners.
8 home runs already.
There's a base hit to left. Edward Cabrera now has hits in 10 of his 12 games since joining the Orioles. So the first 2 reach against Liam Hendricks.
Orioles have seen Hendricks already this year. He pitched a couple of innings down in Baltimore. 6 up, 6 down, 4 strikeouts in that game.
This is Steve Pearce. He was called out on strikes in the first and has grounded out twice. We were singing the praises of Hendricks throwing strikes, and he's having trouble with his control tonight. So Russell Martin takes a quick trip to the mound. While he's out there, we'll tell you there are 14,184 in attendance tonight. First of 3 games against the Orioles. Blue Jays won 2 of 3 against Baltimore in their home ballpark. Was on the first road trip for the Jays. Here's pops it up. Ryan Goins, the second baseman, makes the catch. The infield fly rule was in effect. Aaron Luke loosening up. Blue Jays have an 11-3 lead. Orioles have 9 hits now. But the 6-run second inning gave Mark Burley and the Blue Jays a comfortable lead early.
Trying to make that stand up. Orioles, they're not going to go away. Not the way they can hit home runs.
Ground ball. Chris Davis. Ryan Goins throws wildly, and a run's going to come in. Davis will end up at second. Cabrera stops at third. Flaherty comes in to score the fourth Oriole run. Goins, an ill-advised throw, off balance, running away from first, threw it offline.
Right there, that play demonstrates the confusion when you're in the shift, and you can see the Blue Jays are in the shift, and when the second baseman has to go, there's nobody at second base. Reyes actually took a couple of steps over to try and get that ball. It's a double play ball if they're in normal defensive position, but because they're shifting, there's no place for him to throw. And really at first base, that's a tough play.
So Cabrera ends up at third and Davis at second.
So instead of a double play grounder, it's second and third and just one out.
I would imagine Davis is credited with the hit, and Aaron will be charged to Goins on the throw. Adam Jones 2 for 3. That's a good pitch. That ball really ran inside on Adam Jones and it tied him up.
I don't remember his ball running as much as we have seen this year. There's two-seamer. William gets on top of this one. Look at the spin and how it's coming right in under the hands of Adam Jones. Looked like he actually fouled that one off of his shin.
Well, he got away with one there, left it right over the middle of the plate, and Jones had a home run cut.
Yeah, he has been very aggressive this year. Adam Jones has said, I'm looking for that fastball early. If he hangs me a curveball, just see it and don't miss it. That time he fouled it straight back. That was a hanging breaking ball.
Boy, another good sinker. You can see the defensive swing from Jones. Old-fashioned baseball player right there, wearing the stirrups and the stripes on the Orioles socks. You don't see that very often.
No, but it's a great look, isn't it?
1-2, 1 out. Drives this one into center, and Pilar dives and makes a terrific catch. They can double him up at second, and they do. Oh my! Kevin Pilar, another terrific play as he takes a hit away from Jones, and it costs Jones an RBI.
An RBI. Kevin Pilar, how many times are you going to be doing this? What a play, full extension, and then to come up and get another outfield assist. Doubling off Chris Davis at second base. What a play.
Defense has been terrific. Tigers have really played well, despite the fact Pompey had a tough game on Sunday. Kevin Pillar takes a hit away from Jones and then stays with the play
to finish it off with a double play. How many times can he do this? He did it like 3 or 4 times against the Orioles down in Baltimore. Liam Hendricks certainly appreciates that. He saves himself a run. The run didn't score. From third base, second and third, one out, your best hitter up. He lines one into the gap. You think, okay, there's 2 runs right there. The inning continues. Kevin Pillar had other ideas. Adam Jones, it's just an AB.
Pillar leads the majors with 4 outfield assists. He's had a good night with the bat, a good night defensively.
He almost had another assist. Remember that play at second base off of Delman Young?
Josh Donaldson been on base 3 times tonight. Donaldson got a base hit against Brian Mattis in the 5th. His second hit of the night, but against lefty pitching, he's now 5 for 9 against lefty pitching. Mattis out of the game, and he is on fire. He's thinking about 2 right here. Makes the turn, and he's going to force the arm of Delman Young. He gets in there standing up. Donaldson's second double of the night. That gives him 5 on the season.
That's how you play the game. I don't care what the score is. 11-4. You get a ball like that, you got to be thinking 2. Opens up those hips. It's another breaking ball, and he scolds it into left field.
When you see a teammate playing like Pillar in left, and Donaldson has a tendency to do that as well, it just makes everybody get on board. Peer pressure.
I better play hard or I'm going to get called out. Players had a meeting today before batting practice, and I'm sure that was discussed. Play the game the right way.
Bautista looks out at the pitch, and that ball went behind him. Goins was hit by a pitch by Garcia. And now Gibbons is coming out to say, wait a minute. The umpire warned the benches. He's going, wait a minute now.
And he's saying that's 2 times that they have thrown behind me. Why are you warning me? My team hasn't done anything.
Yeah, we have seen Blue Jays and their opponents handle this on the field, and they can pretty much police themselves. But Mark Carlson put the warning in, and we got a young pitcher out on the mound, Jason Garcia, and he hit Goins. Second batter he faced entering the game, and then he throws one behind Bautista. And
watch Jose after this ball goes by him.
Well, you remember that Darren O'Day threw one behind Bautista in Baltimore, and then later on in the same at bat he hit a home run. Off the plate. And that look tells you all you need to know about what Bautista thinks about that pitch. 3-1, nobody out. Donaldson at third. He moved up on the wild pitch. Bautista drives it deep to left. He's amazing. And he enjoys it. Garcia threw one behind his back. It rattled his cage, and he goes deep.
You know, in all my years watching baseball, I don't know if I've ever seen a guy rise to the occasion when he feels like they're trying to throw at him or intimidate him, whatever you want to call it. Bautista, you mentioned the one against O'Day. There was an Ivan Nova a couple of years ago with the Yankees, and now they throw him behind Bautista, and he answers him.
Buck Showalter out to talk to Jason Garcia. This is a Rule 5 pitcher. Pitched an A-ball last year. You can see what the Blue Jays think about that development.
Watch Bautista. He knows it. He's done this in the past. He knows what this feels like, and he gets retribution, and he's going to admire it.
His ability within the same at bat when somebody throws at him and step up and hit a home run, it's remarkable. And nobody knows the intent, but where the ball was, obviously it's concern for a hitter. It's behind you. And then Flaherty and Bautista near second base had words for one another.
And then coming across home plate one more time from Jose.
Tensions are high in the American League East. We've seen it with the Blue Jays in Tampa Bay. Boston and the Orioles had a similar weekend series. Blue Jays in Baltimore early
on. That's right. And we'll say it again. It's going to make for a fun summer in the AL East.
Broken bat looper to third. Machado retires Encarnacion. That's the first out of the inning. Bautista, obviously, he's a terrific player. He's a two-time home run champ. Last year he had one of the best seasons we've seen put together for a Blue Jay hitter. And he's just struggling a bit, but now he has 4 home runs and 10 RBIs. And after Garcia threw it behind his back, a little extra satisfaction in that bat toss. "13 runs on 15 hits and 3 home runs." This is a pop down the left side, long run. Nobody's going to get it.
This is what we were talking about down in Baltimore, up behind Jose. And these two have had it over the years, and Jose gets a little satisfaction out of that one as he homers off of Darren O'Day. It's amazing how Bautista can rise to the occasion, not with just singles. Knocks the ball out of the ballpark.
Yonder Navarro gives this a ride to left. Delman Young's not going to get it. It's off the wall. Navarro's headed for second. He'll be tagged out as he may have pulled a hamstring. Looks like he's limping a bit as he's walking off the field. And he felt something headed into second base, chose not to slide. And he's been running the bases all night long. That's his 3rd hit. He's making a bid for a second double, and this doesn't look good. And that tells you what John Gibbons thinks about that. He's trying to figure out his options now.
Ball's driven the other way. Let's see if there's anything coming around first base. He made up his mind right there for 2. And then right before he started his slide, he felt something.
He sure did, just before he hit the dirt. And he's walking back into the clubhouse, and the training staff is in tow. Watch right there. He felt something grab, looked like his left leg, and he didn't slide, and he's probably going to leave the game. Russell Martin hits a fly ball to center. Adam Jones is there. The inning is over, but the Blue Jays scored 2 more runs in the 7th. Jose Bautista was 0 for 4, and then he connects after a pitch behind his back. His 4th home run of the season. Have spoiled over here, and they're starting to flare. And during the break, Bautista was running out to right field, and I think Adam Jones had something to say to him. He said they threw behind my back, and that's why he's upset. And then I hit a home run. So the Orioles came up to the top step, and you could see Bautista, what he was saying was, hey, they threw it behind my back. And don't blame me for reacting like that. And the Orioles came to the top step. And Jones is giving it his side of the thing. And Buck Showalter comes out of the dugout. And as we mentioned,
something's brewing here.
Yeah, it sure is. And it started in Baltimore, and it's carried into this series. And these two teams are supercharged right now. Heston Smoke into the ball game defensively at first base. Delman Young fights it off and hits it into right, and Bautista is going to try to throw him out. Bautista has done that before. We have seen him do that in back-to-back games. Delman Young with his 2nd hit of the night. John Gibbons has come out of the Blue Jays dugout. Aaron Loop will come into the game. Liam Hendricks will leave, and Aaron Loop comes into the game. And you talk about these two teams, how this has all been created. This is a couple of years ago, 2013. That is Darren O'Day, who strikes out Bautista and then skips off the mound. And Bautista said, "What do you say?" And then Bautista hit a home run. Bautista's hit 4 home runs off Darren O'Day. And then they were yapping at one another. And then this was this season in Baltimore. O'Day threw one behind his back. And in the same at bat, his 4th home run, and he skips to first base. So these two teams have gone toe-to-toe a few other times. And then this is the last at bat.
Yeah, the one behind him once again by the young kid. And as a hitter, come on, not good. The only way to get back is to do this right here. And Bautista, you can take a look at that one because you deserve it. I tell you, there's something boiling and brewing, between these two teams here. As Bautista heads out to right field, saying they're throwing the ball behind me. That's not right. And I'll show you a homer. And now Bautista fired up. He's thinking about trying to get Young at first base.
And then Delman Young says, hey, what's that all about? Everybody's on edge. And we've just begun the season. These two teams have played 2 more games in this series. And then they will meet once again in Baltimore on the 11th of May, a 3-game series. So everybody is up, milling around. That's Darren O'Day in the bullpen. New pitcher in the game is Aaron Loup for the Blue Jays.
There's Aaron's numbers this season. 1-1 with an ERA of 6. Lefty's still not having a lot of success against Loup. And he will get the left-hander Snyder.
Travis Snyder, that's a fair ball. Just inside the bag. Delman Young is around second. He is headed to third. Here's another great throw by Pilar, but not in time. Pilar is throwing nothing but strikes from the outfield, but that ball was late getting to second, and Snyder has his second hit of the night. It's a double.
Yeah, and Pilar was playing him in the left center field. Had a long way to go.
This is Jason Garcia throwing the pitch behind Bautista. That's Mark Carlson. Now the ball is still in play, so Caleb Joseph has to get it, and then Carlson calls timeout and warns both sides. That's what brought John Gibbons out of the dugout to say, wait a minute, they hit 2 of our guys and you're warning us. So things have gotten a little bit ugly here. Manny Machado at the plate. Bounces it to first. Smoke will go to the bag and take the out. Delman Young comes in to score. Machado will pick up his second RBI of the night.
So it should make for tomorrow night being pretty interesting, huh?
Well, tomorrow night,
right
rest
back
of the season, every time these teams get together. Tomorrow night, Ubaldo Jimenez will go to the mound for the Orioles. He'll be opposed by Aaron Sanchez.
And what happened to Jimenez last game? He's throwing a no-hitter, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was throwing a no-hitter. He
It got thrown out.
Sandoval.
And got thrown out in the 4th inning.
Yeah, and Buck was upset about that, and the umpire said, well, I think it's because that hard slide that Sandoval had at second. And Buck said, are you kidding me? We encourage players to play hard. That ball gets away from Russell Martin, and Snyder's going to come in to score. So Snyder doubled to left, went to third on the ground out, and now comes across to score the second run.
Change up from Aaron Loup. Let's see what happens up there. The swing and the miss, and Russell just missed it.
It's a pass ball charged to Russell Martin, and there's a sharply hit ball. One hop to Reyes. Caleb Joseph is retired. Two down. Aaron Loup in relief of Liam Hendricks. Ryan Flaherty has extended his hit streak to 5 straight games. He had an RBI double in the 3rd. Ball in the strike. We're in the top of the 8th inning. The Blue Jays lead it 13-6. John Gibbons was hopeful of conserving his bullpen with a big lead. Flaherty gets jammed, and for some reason he didn't run up the baseline. I don't know if he didn't know where the ball was, but Donaldson waits on it and throws him out. Orioles score a pair. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zong.
Multiple games this year. Try a Blue Jays ticket package. You pick the games and reserve seats that get you closer to the action. Starting from 10 games up to a full season, the account executives will find the best packages that suit your needs. Go to BlueJays.com to learn about all the great benefits of being a Blue Jays ticket package holder. And Buck, if it were me, I'd be buying for every Baltimore game the rest of this season.
That's a good call, Barry. There might be some fireworks, that's for sure. We move to the bottom of the 8th. Brad Brock into the ball game to pitch the 8th. This will be his 7th appearance of the season.
Last year he averaged about a strikeout an inning. This year a lot better, 10.8 per 9 innings. Good fastball, breaking ball. He'll use his changeup. Another defensive change for the Orioles.
David Lowe takes over in center field as Adam Jones has been lifted. Dalton Pompey bounces it off the turf. It's going to be a tough play. Ryan Flaherty made a heck of a play there. Pompey was getting up the line. He is out by a half a step. That's the first time he's been retired tonight.
Had a long way to go. He was playing right on that outfield cut. Had a long way to go to make the out, and gets the out over at first base.
Kevin Pillar with a 2-hit night. He's raised his average 19 points. It is so easy to get caught up in an 0 for 10, 1 for 15, but for these players, if they just understand, you get a couple of hits early in the season, it's going to bump your average up dramatically.
Fast. You have a couple of good games back to back, you're right where you want to be.
Dalton Pompey has raised his batting average 43 points tonight, going 3 for 4 with a walk. Went in hitting 188. Now he's hitting 231, and everything looks a little rosier. Pillar grounds out to second. Stanley Cup playoffs are ongoing right now. Game 4 between the Predators and the Blackhawks now on Sportsnet. Keep you up to speed, and certainly with Hockey Central updating all the games and recapping all the games, you can certainly get all the hockey information you need. Ryan Goins got hit by a pitch in the 6th.
How about the tempers flaring so early in the season? Huh?
It's been
all around baseball.
Yeah, everywhere. In Kansas City and Oakland. We saw Tampa Bay and the Blue Jays here. A couple of screaming matches across the diamond.
Boston, Baltimore.
David Ortiz was ejected in the Baltimore series and was suspended for a game for bumping the umpire. Off the end of the bat, Machado. Goins is retired. We're headed to the 9th. The Blue Jays with a comfortable lead in this, the first game of a 3-game series. Marco Estrada into the ball game.
Coming up immediately following the game, it is Sportsnet Central on Sportsnet 1. And, of course, we've got lots of hockey to choose from tonight. On Sportsnet right now, it's the Preds and Blackhawks. Game 4, Chicago leading that series 2-1. And then at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific on CBC. Great series going on here between the Canucks and Flames. Game 4 with Calgary up 2-1. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry. We want to make sure you make note of all the great programming coming up right after this game. Marco Estrada is the 3rd reliever to work for the Blue Jays. Mark Burley in line for his 3rd win in as many starts.
6 innings for Burley, an inning for Hendricks, an inning for Loop, and now Marco will get in for his 4th game. Estrada last pitched on the 19th versus Atlanta, inning and a 3rd in that game, couple of strikeouts.
Estrada has pitched very well the last 2 times out. He had a 3-inning outing prior to that last game you mentioned. This is Everett Cabrera. He's a switch hitter. This is the first time he's hit as a lefty, and he drills that first pitch into right.
The championship-winning Honda CRF 450R for those who dare to ride red.
Steve Pearce steps in against Estrada. They're not holding the runner on at first. First pitch strike to Pearce. Estrada worked in the Friday night game in Baltimore in relief. That's the Burley game when Burley won his 200th game, and Estrada pitched the 9th inning, gave up a leadoff home run to Jonathan Scope. Scope now on the DL with that knee injury.
Probably for a couple of months. Marco also pitched in Sunday's ball game. Thought he did a good job of coming in and just calming everything down. Daniel Norris got knocked out in the 3rd inning. They needed a veteran to come out there and just calm things down. He and Jeff Francis came in and pitched good ball.
The bullpen pitched 6 1/3 of scoreless relief on Sunday and really set them up well for this series. There's that great changeup as Estrada's even now at 2-2. Estrada entered that game and struck out Christian Bethancourt to close out the 3rd. Then he had a good inning in the 4th and turned it over to Francis, who went 3 1/3 in relief. Well, that's a great changeup, back-to-back changeups, and he strikes out Pierce.
Sells it well, and he set it up with a good fastball, and then a couple of changeups. Watch how he digs it into his fingers and really messes up the timing of Pierce. Pierce was actually swinging through that ball before it even got there.
Chris Davis. Davis for the night, 1 for 3. Ryan Goins was charged with an error. On a infield hit in my mind, but they ruled it an error. That was back in the 7th inning.
Not a hit and an error? Sure seemed like it should have been a hit.
I thought it was a hit and an error, but he only has 1 hit in 3 at-bats to this point. Chris Davis, a mild protest as he's headed back to the dugout. Jose Bautista went 1 for 5 tonight, but homered in the 7th inning, and you can see he looks over to the Orioles dugout as the feelings are pretty strong between these two teams, and they'll play 2 more games tomorrow night, Thursday night. Blue Jays will wrap up this 10-game homestand with a pair against the Orioles. This is David Lowe getting his first at bat of the night. He replaced Adam Jones defensively in the bottom of the 8th. Jones finished up the night 2 for 4. 2 more hits for Jones, who is off to a great start with the bat. Ball and a strike, 2 outs.
Pretty smart move, I think, to get him out of here. Rest him up. He plays every inning of every game.
Estrada's certainly got the feel for that changeup.
Yeah, he'll throw it to right-handers. He'll throw it to left-handers. It doesn't matter. He'll throw 3 in a row if he has to. $14,184 on hand here at Rogers Center. Marco Estrada strikes out the side in the 9th, and the Blue Jays win it. Offensive production up and down the order. Everybody got into the action.